Welcome to the human test. This is an ordinary calibration sequence for human behavioral patterns. Please indicate if any of these match your daily operations. Have you ever been reading a sentence and suddenly realized your eyes were moving across the words when your mind was completely somewhere else, forcing you to reread the exact same line multiple times to actually process it? Have you ever found a mysterious bruise or scratch on yourself and spent 10 minutes playing detective, mentally retracting every recollection over the last 48 hours you identify the piece of furniture responsible? Have you ever caught yourself treating a purely random chance event, like a coin flip or dice roll, as if you had never expecting a streak of bad luck on your outcome? Have you ever caught yourself listening to a song or endless for hours straight to lock your brain to a specific sensory state until the track loses meaning? Have you ever walked down the sidewalk and suddenly created a set of rigid rules for yourself, like elbowing your stride to avoid every single crack, or matching your footsteps perfectly to an ambient rhythm? Have you ever watched two people interact from a distance and got an overwhelming sense of disconnection, looking at them like an anthropologist observing foreign species performing arbitrary social rituals? Have you ever caught your reflection in a dark window or mirror while you were relaxed, and been caught off guard by how intensely neutral or stern your resting face actually looks? Have you ever set an alarm for exact time, like 7:40 a.m. or 8:27 a.m., because a number like 7:15 felt too comfortable and like an emergency? Have you ever tried to consciously picture a completely new color in your mind, only to get frustrated that your brain refuses to escape the RGB or seem like it's actually already done? Have you ever closed on all your browser tabs in a sudden feed of digital minimalism, firmly believing you're starting a new chapter of your life, and then it's creating the same as shortly after? Have you ever bought a blank notebook with exquisite paper and delayed using it for weeks out of sheer pressure of your Meryuiet, or scribbled garbage on the very first page to processly upgrade it into an everyday object? Have you ever stood in an extremely safe, quiet, or serious location and felt a sudden urge to do something utterly chaotic to verify your control over reality? Have you ever walked out of store without buying anything and intentionally altered your work, taking your hands out of your pockets and making false eye contact to perform the job, only to realize you made yourself look infinitely more suspicious than an actual shop cleaner? Have you ever looked at a mundane situation like a flight dinner or crowded elevator and spent seconds calculating the logistics of what would happen if you suddenly did the absolute worst thing possible? Have you ever had an inanimate object or piece of code thrown twice in a row and reacted by clearing it in silence, saving the fire for its very second before realizing how ridiculous you are being? Have you ever heard someone utter crazy in like a room that sounded like a word-shattering phenomenon, only to realizing that it's something like past the master, and felt secretly angry at the probability far superior to your brain just constructed? Have you ever spent approximately a month of clothing organizing a collection of notes down to an example of structure, realize halfway through that you have created and secondly that you also put something or probably never read again? Have you ever received a benign message, decided to reply and then related to the algorithm design, mutated into a colossal fold of you to the point where sending a simple "sounds good" feels like a high-stakes diplomatic confession? Have you ever struggling with a puzzle or complex experienced a flash of rage when someone stepped in to help or explain it was there because they dared to interrupt your private negotiations with words? lighting conditions or an unfamiliar street and thinking question of sense of materials or life that literally never happened. Have you ever noticed a tiny, brilliant, really highly specific detail or situation that kept it to yourself? Rarely looking reflection from things or detected evidence you have been evidence of everyone else. Have you ever walked down a familiar flight of stairs in the dark, counted the steps, and taken a step in nothing, experiencing a point to make a signal when you bring a band of feelings and prepares for gruesome death before your foot hits the floor? Have you ever, during a late night, seen a strange light outside or heard a bizarre distant noise, and instead of looking for an explanation, immediately had an almost relieved thought? Is it starting? Is it the end of the world? And spend the next few minutes calmly evaluating your available supplies and escape routes. Have you ever, in an ordinary moment like washing your hands or looking at your fingers, been hit with a jarring realization that you are trapped inside a vessel and piloting that vessel through a linear decay of time, feeling like your soul dropped back into your flesh, is a shock of detachment. This is the end of the human test. If you recognize 5, your installation is fully operational.